Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about goods and services tax in India. As we know, we need fund or government need fund for any of the developmental activities to be undertaken in the country. It may be regarding defense, or it may be providing basic necessities, or it may be providing service or healthcare facilities, etc. So, from where these funds will arise? Yes, you are right. So one of the source from which the government can sponsors all these developmental activity is the taxes. The tax is paid by the citizens of the country. So this is a source of finance for the government. So whenever government wants to undertake any developmental activity, one of the major source for its activities are taxes. So as a citizen of a country, if you are earning anything in this country, you have to pay a part of your income or a part of your profit to the government so that they can utilize those funds for public expenditure. So this is the background of tax by which government can sponsors the public expenditures of a country. Now we know there are two types of taxes, that is direct tax and indirect tax. So what is direct tax? I can give the example of income tax. So if you are a person who is earning income in this country, you have to pay a certain portion of your income as a tax to the government. So what is indirect tax? I can give you the example. So indirect tax, whenever you are going to buy something, for example, if you are going to buy a bottle, or if you are going to buy a chewing gum, or if you are going to buy anything, you are going to pay a tax to the government. So this is whether you are directly paying tax to the government. No, you are paying the tax to your supplier. So your supplier have to deposit the tax collected from you to the government. So that is indirect tax. So let us discuss what are the factors or what is goods and services tax in India, or it is shortly known as GST. So whenever we are purchasing something, we are paying tax to the government. So whatever we are buying and selling, we broadly classified it as goods and services. So yes, we are buying goods, we are buying services. So I can give the example of goods, bottle goods, chewing gum goods. So what is service then? So if you are visiting to a doctor, what he will do? He will diagnose you, he will specify that what is the problem faced by you, and he will suggest some of the medicine to you. Whether he is selling anything, no, he is giving you services. You have to pay him for the service offered by him. So you went to barbers, you will cut your hairs. So whether you are purchasing something from him, no, right? So he is giving his expertise or his specialist service of cutting your hairs. So that is services. So whatever we are buying or whatever the supplier is selling broadly can be classified into goods or services. So now what is goods, what is services, we understood. We know before the introduction of goods and services tax in India, there were many taxes on goods as well as services. In earlier 1990, what was the situation is, the government of India was struggling to finance the public expenditures of the country. So it formed one committee to recommend what is the problem and by which they can arise, or what is the sources of finance they can finance these activities. So this committee recommended that in the entire world, they are not only charging the tax on goods, but they are also charging the tax on services. So from the recommendation of this committee, so the government of India was introduced the services tax. So now there was excise duty, there was a service tax, there was a sales tax, there was a entertainment duties, there was professional tax, there was a gift tax, there was a wealth tax. All the taxes were there. So why the new tax, that is goods and services tax, have been introduced? So we have to learn that. So there was a problem with the sales tax. By referring this PPT, you can know. So if you are I have given the examples of two persons, Miss Anshu and Miss Deepthi. If Miss Anshu wants to sell something, So the cost incurred by her to manufacture that goods is, let us take it as 100 rupees. So whether she is going to sell it on 100 rupees only? No, she will add profit, right? So let us take the profit as 10 rupees. So 110 rupees was a price of a goods. Then she has to collect the tax, sales tax. Let us assume it as 10%. So 10% on 110 will be 11 rupees. So totally she used to sell that particular goods for 121 rupees. So Deepthi purchased the goods from Miss Anshu. So Deepthi purchased at a price of 121 rupees. So again, whether she is going to sell it on the same price? No, she needs some profit, right? So let us take it as 9 rupees. So totally her expenses was 130 rupees including the profit. So whether she can sell it on 130 rupees only? No, she has to add sales tax. So sales tax, let us take the percentage at 10%. So 130 rupees into 10%, it cost rupees 13. So if you add sales tax to 130 rupees, it cost around 143 rupees. Now, this was the situation before the introduction of GST. Okay. So you can closely observe, for the same goods, Miss Anshu collected GST of rupees 11 rupees from Miss Deepthi and deposited to the government. And for the same goods, Miss Deepthi is also collecting the tax from her customers. She also collected the tax of rupees 13. So it is nothing but Deepthi and Anshu paid the same tax for the same goods. So 11 rupees in case of Anshu and 13 rupees in case of Deepthi. It is nothing but double taxation. You paid the tax on tax. When you purchased from Anshu, you paid the tax of rupees 11. When you supplied that goods to somebody else, again you are collecting the tax. So that on 11 rupees also you are charging the tax. So that is called as double taxation. Or there is another concept, that is tax on tax. So this was the problem with the sales tax. So before the introduction of GST, there was a excise duty on manufacturing of your goods. If you are a producer, if you are a manufacturer of your goods, you have to pay excise duty to the government. If you are a seller of goods, you have to pay sales tax to the government. So there was this confusion. So if you are in a country, you have to pay excise duty, you have to pay sales tax, you have to pay service tax, etc. Because of this, they introduced one more tax, that is goods and services tax. So goods and services tax is introduced with the intention of one nation, one tax. Thank you. We will continue in the next class.